Hi, welcome to How to D&D. My name's Frederick Weller, and today I want to talk about the new Storm King's Thunder miniature series that's being released. This is not a review, this is just a preview. So the new miniatures are going to be called Icons of the Realms Storm King's Thunder. This particular series is being made by WizKids. Their release date is the 1st of September 2016, and the box sets are going to be sold for $16 each, which, if I understand, it's slightly more than they have been in the past. There will be 45 miniatures in this series, and that's pretty much the same as we've had in all the other series that have come so far. WizKids has not released any real significant information on this particular series of miniatures, but I've been hunting around the internet and I've found out as much as I possibly can, so here are the details. So what will be in the miniatures series? Well, the first miniature that we can expect to see, and you can probably tell if you have a look at the side of the boxing, is a Thai-kreen wielding a spear and holding two serrated swords in two of their hands. This is like an insectoid, humanoid creature. It's an unusual addition to this particular series. Kenrick, a paladin or some sort of knight dressed in plate armour, is the next miniature I want to talk about. He seems to be wielding a great sword. Certainly he couldn't hold it in one hand, although the miniature does have him holding it in one hand. It looks like you would need to put two hands on that to actually control it properly. It's got some sort of red trim to it. It's a little bit of an unusual addition to this series, but like a lot of the Wizards of the Coast products coming out, they are trying to make everything that they produce something that the Dungeon Master would want, and also something that players would want. The first giant I want to talk about appears to be a storm giant king. I would suspect this is King Hecaton. I hope that's the right pronunciation. He's holding what looks like, or wielding what looks like, an ice cream cone. I'm not sure what he would do with an ice cream cone, but it could simply just be a scepter or some sort of weapon. Next we have a giantess called Lim Earth. Now I suspect that Lim Earth is a storm giant, possibly a daughter to King Hecaton. She's dressed in a blue dress, looks quite impressive. She has some sort of tiara or maybe a crown. Looks like it's made out of bone, and there's lightning crackling up either side of her and around her, and that's probably one of the more exciting miniatures that I've seen so far. Next we have a female giantess dressed in a green dress who appears to be floating or hovering off the ground, and you can see what looks like energy coming from her hands. I suspect this is yet another storm giantess, probably the daughter to King Hecaton. One of the miniatures that I saw, or when I say miniatures, I'm talking about digital renders, because the miniatures themselves have not been presented to us at all. We haven't seen anything that actually looks like a miniature. There's nothing in the galleries. I've been looking. But we've got a male fire giant dressed in heavy plate armour, wielding what looks like a great sword that's flaming, and in one hand has flames coming off his hands. That looks quite exciting. I'm looking forward to that miniature. We have yet another male fire giant who is dressed in heavy plate armour, appears to have some sort of crown on their head, and is wielding what I could only describe as a long-handled mace, or maybe it's a staff, or I don't know, an ice cream spatula, who knows. But yes, more fire giants. So the last miniature that I know about is the promo miniature. This is a huge miniature, and it appears to be labelled Chief Goo. Now Chief Goo is basically a hill giant, very fat, obese, quite grotesque looking hill giant, sitting on a rock, eating, would you believe it, the foot from a dragon. Now I'm assuming this is probably the main character that has been described in the Storm King Thunder storyline. Chief Goo is a hill giant who's been forcing the other hill giants to collect food so that she can just eat as much food as possible and become just the largest giant there is. It is not a very action orientated miniature. So at this stage I'm pretty sure we will see at least 2 giants from every sub-race, which means we should wind up with a total of around about 12 giants and a series of miniatures that is made up of 45. Now, given that we are probably going to wind up with King Hecaton, and we're probably going to get Chief Goo because that's the promo miniature, I would assume we're probably looking more at 14 plus giants. When the miniatures are released, I will do a full review of that miniature line. Okay, a few of you are looking at me and wondering, okay, so what's with the hat? So, I have hats. I have a lot. I have a box full of hats. I used to use them when I was dungeon mastering, and because they are taking up space, I have to start making some decisions because somebody's probably moving into my place shortly. Now, if I'm not going to use them, I probably should throw them away or give them away. So, now, each week, you're going to see a hat. Today is the top hat. Something else next time. So if you found this video helpful or informative, you know the deal, I keep saying it. Please share, like and subscribe. Make a comment below and tell me what makes you excited about the new miniature series that's coming out, or are you worried about what they might try and put out. And until next time, you know it. Keep rolling those 20s.